Hello, my dear viewers. Welcome back. So today's lesson is on the poem Daffodils by William Wordsworth. In this session, we will explore the beauty of nature and its impact on human emotions as depicted in this famous romantic era poem. So let's dive in. Before we begin analyzing this poem, children, let's take a moment to understand the context. In what context the poet William Wordsworth is writing this poem? So, William Wordsworth was a prominent poet of Romantic era. Romantic era is the era when the poets used to write about the beauty of the nature and human emotions of love. So here, the poet is celebrating the beauty of nature and emphasizing on the importance of personal or individual experiences and emotions. So nature was often seen as a source of inspiration and solace during a time of industrialization and urbanization. So there was a time when industries and urbanization was at its peak. So in those times, the poets who were mainly focusing on the nature and human emotion kind of poem. Now let us start reading first stanza. The stanza has a specific rhyme scheme, like it is cloud hills, crowd daffodils. So it is A B trees breeze C C. So the rhyme scheme in this poem is A B C C. So the first line is I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, fluttering and dancing in the breeze, fluttering and dancing in. So now let's understand the meaning of stanza 1. So the first two lines are I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. Here, wandered means moved around to different places, usually without having a particular purpose or direction. Like he is just walking aimlessly. No, he doesn't have any aim. And floats means is carried along by moving water or air. Like something floats. No, you must have seen the clouds floating when winds blow. They keep moving ahead and different direction and in different directions, and they are all wandering here and there aimlessly. In the same way, Wordsworth is wandering alone as a cloud, and he's saying that he is roaming around like a cloud floating over valley and hills. Now you need to notice that in the line I wandered lonely as a cloud, a simile is being used, and the poet wants to convey a sense of solitude and detachment through these lines. He is showing that he's alone at the beginning of the poem. Next lines, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils. Now, see the personification. Crowd is used for people, but here the poet is using the word crowd for daffodils to tell us that he had seen lot of daffodils all of a sudden while he was wandering lonely like a cloud near the uh, valleys and hills. Suddenly, he comes across a large group of golden daffodils. Next, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So these lines mean uh, while the poet was wandering alone, he came across or he encountered a large number of golden daffodils beside a lake and under the trees. And he is saying that the daffodils were fluttering. Fluttering means they were moving with quick and light movement, as well as they were dancing in the breeze, because there was a slight breeze there in that place, and it was causing an effect of movement on the daffodils. So the poet is comparing that movement with the fluttering and dancing of daffodils. So this fluttering and dancing is the literary device called personification, where the poet is giving person-like qualities to a flower, to the daffodils. Apart from simile and personification, Wordsworth is also using imagery. He is painting a visual picture of the daffodils, the lake, the hills, the valleys, the trees, and the golden color of the daffodils, their movement in the breeze, and the serene environment of the lake. All these contribute a sensory experience in our minds. Like we can create an image of all those things. So it is touching our senses. It evokes the imagination through our senses. Like we can close our eyes and imagine this picture very easily. So here the poet is also using imagery to evoke sensory emotions in us. The poet is also comparing himself with cloud also. So he has given the quality of person to the cloud as well. And he is also personifying the daffodils by giving them human-like qualities. Now, let us quickly focus on the literary device or figures of speech that are used in this poem. The first one is alliteration. Alliteration means the repetition of consonant sounds. So, in the second line, that floats on high over vales and hills. In this, H consonant is being repeated in high and hills. So, this is alliteration. Next is simile. So Wordsworth uses a simile when he compares himself to a cloud. So in the line, I wandered lonely as a cloud, he is comparing himself with a cloud. So this simile helps create a vivid image and conveys a sense of solitude and aimless wandering. Like he is directly comparing himself with a cloud that is wandering in the sky, lonely, without any aim. Next is personification. As I told you while giving the meaning also, that the lines fluttering and dancing in the breeze have been given the human-like qualities. So by attributing these human-like actions to the daffodils, Wordsworth is trying to create lively and animated image where we can see that the daffodils are moving due to the breeze. Next is imagery. So Wordsworth uses the descriptive language to evoke imagery. Imagery is basically something related to our sense organs, which we can imagine ourselves through our sense organs. So he paints a visual picture of the daffodils, the lake, and the surrounding landscape, and the golden color that he is talking about. You can all imagine in your mind the color, the movement. All these are your sensory experiences, and these kind of images are created to make the poem more beautiful, as well as to create a picture in your mind of all the descriptions that are being given in the poem. Now, next is hyperbole. Hyperbole is when something is told in an exaggerated way. So, in the lines host or crowd, he's saying a crowd. So, actually, he's exaggerating the number of daffodils that he has seen so that it adds to the sense of wonder and awe. And we, like the reader who is reading the poem, will wonder on the number of daffodils that this poet has encountered while walking lonely. So there is one more important figure of speech in stanza one, that is onomatopoeia. This is a literary device that uses words that sound like the noise they represent, like bee buzzing, buzz, that kind of sound. Okay, honk, meow, sizzle. When something is sizzling, no, that sizzle sound itself creates that kind of effect. That is called onomatopoeia. And in this stanza, the lines, no, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. This word fluttering is an example of onomatopoeia. Now let us discuss the important theme that is being discussed in stanza 1. So that is the beauty and transformative power of the nature. So in the beginning, the speaker is feeling lonely and isolated, but as soon as he encounters with a crowd of daffodils, this brings about a transformation in him, and he comes in a state of joy and happiness. The sight of daffodils fluttering and dancing in the breeze fills him with lot of happiness and joy, and this also lifts his spirit and dispel his loneliness. So the encounter with the nature's beauty brings about a profound emotional shift in the speaker. So that is why this stanza is particularly showcasing the theme of transformative power of nature. Now let us revise the stanza 1 of the poem The Daffodils. So this poem by Wordsworth is a poem that celebrates the beauty of nature along with the bliss of solitude. The imagery of fluttering and dancing daffodils makes the poet feel one with nature, where he finds himself wandering like a cloud and enjoying the beauty of valleys and hills. It was then that the poet saw a large number of golden daffodils beside a lake and under a tree. The daffodils appeared to the poet as fluttering and dancing happily in the breeze. So the poet is mainly focusing on the influence of nature on a man or a human being. This poem is a lyric. Lyric means something which can be sung. Okay, so the style of writing this poem is in the form of lyric. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any doubts or any questions, you can write in the comment section, and do like, share, and subscribe our channel.